Hello and welcome back to Rollercoaster Tycoon, where rides turn invisible at the blink of a button. Yeah, that's what they do. But welcome to May of the second year. We are steamrolling ahead here onto a glorious victory for this park. However, we are not there yet as, there are still a few things that we need to build because we only are short 70 guests. Now, before we continue fixing that issue, for which we have, I feel, all the time in the world, let us do a... Ooh. That's a bad situation that we got over here, ladies and gentlemen. That's a very bad situation we have over here. Let us quickly fix this by getting the handy dude out there. And I also feel a trash can over there would greatly remedy this. Right, for the vandalism though, that seems to be the only real issue. Now, the eye mirror, yeah, it has lost its popularity. Still made us 2 grand though, which I find to be a honorable achievement for a ride of that type. Goes from the past, still has people on it. Over here, I mean, these 2 coasters, you know, they're doing alright, I feel. Same for the Viper, seems to be doing alright. You over there have folks on it. Same for you. The O-Rips though. Yeah, popularity is like 0, satisfaction is even less than that, so hello guest, would you now mind going on it? I mean, that also gives them something to do if they're out of money, so they will stay in the park longer. Now, that's, you know, the daily routines of, well, daily, monthly, seasonally, quarterly routines of this park done. What we then need to check is the rides that we are going to build. Now, last we've gotten a river rapids and we're researching roller coasters right now. I think that the river rapids, therefore, is pretty much the only choice we have. So let us build this. Now, we do need to choose an area, and I do recall saying last time that we were going to build this over here. How about what we could do, and that's ballsy, is build it right above the water slide. Oh man, come on! How long have I been playing this game and I don't remember the right type here? Bad me. What we could also do is build it just right next to over here. However, that would lead to some hook-up issues. What we could also do is build the thing below this ride over here. And I'm more favoring that. So let's go ahead and do that. Let's get the, the build thingy focus of building over there. And we shall have the station below this section here. We shall then remove this, of course, because we don't really need that. We also don't really need everything to be max length, so we can just go along and do it like this and we should be fine. What we are going to do though is hook up the queue path first. There, it doesn't need to be too long. We're going to do the same with the exit path basically. We need to go one further. Okay, we need to go one further straight as well. There, that's where I wanted to hook it up. I think that's the most efficient use of space over here. Not that we really need to be that efficient anymore, but it's better to be safe than sorry, right? Now, what we will do is we will first get ourselves in a whirlpool. Oh, and then we cannot get in. Oh, we're actually building this backwards. Yeah, that was not what I intended. I wanted to continue building over here. I was like, wow, where is this whirlpool going, you know? Then we go over here, do the other curve because we need to. There, do another whirlpool. And I feel like then is the moment we should... Well, actually, you know what we should do, really? We should go over here and then go up. Over here, there isn't much harm in it. Look, and what we can then do, because there's a gap in between there, we'll have another whirlpool. And then we'll have another one. Oh, and we can't have waterfalls, because apparently the top section is what is considered for the track height. But then we can drop it over here till there. How cool is that, huh? Then we'll do some rapids and some more. This is gonna give a massive splash, and I approve mightily. Oh, alright, maybe the splash is gonna be a little bit less massive, now that I've discovered we got issues over there. Still though, we should be able to get up there at fairly high speeds. Then what we could do over here is just go up like this. Now why can't I do that? Because it's too high for supports? Yeah, apparently so. Whirlpool. And then a waterfall. And then let us take a look at where we are actually going to take this, right? We need to get it back over there. How cool would it be if we could actually... I wanted it to be over here, but on the other hand, perhaps we should not. So what we're gonna do instead is... Yeah, no, I have different plans for this. I see already where the plans are taking me. Is that over there? Yeah, that is over here actually. Another whirlpool. This should do the trick of a freaking massive, absolutely massive, massive drop. Rapids, rapids, waterfalls, more waterfalls. There. And then we'll turn it around like this. Go up by 2. Do a whirlpool. And now we need to start thinking about how we're gonna get this back to the station. So basically what we need is for us to... What we need to do really, and that's the simple part of it, is we need to go down and then go all the way around like that. That's the only way we're gonna get back in a decent matter. Or in a decent fashion. So we'll do some rapids there. And then we'll do a whirlpool. And then some waterfalls. These waterfalls, I think they're cool, but... You know, the issue is their height. They're higher than the average track. So we'll do a whirlpool here. And then perhaps a rapids. And another rapids. And another rapids! Not like they accelerate the... dinghies or what, the rafts I guess they're called in any way, but still. Now I believe that if so long as we stay over here with another rapids, that should do it, right? That is the whole ride actually hooked up. Right, now this looks rather epic if you ask me, so we shall charge the $5 for this. And the good thing is we have already hooked this up, so all that we need to do basically is just open it and be done with it, really. We can't be just done with it like that. What we also need is this. I imagine that there will be a lot of cleanup duty here. I mean, after all, we have pretty much special track pieces only for this ride, so... Now then, seeing how that is open, yeah, and the folks are going on it instantly. They know it is... Ooh, look what we got, the inverter mouse coaster. Very nice. And we're gonna build that and put it back onto thrill rides. Question is where? I think that over here would be a really nice spot for said inverter mouse coaster. Think it would be perfect. The question is though, is the inverter mouse coaster also 3 high? We don't really know that, so we'll have to... First of all though, let's name this. How about we call this the Riaganga region. Riaganga River. It sounds like somewhere in India, so perhaps we should color it appropriately. With no. No. But what we could do is go with really dark red jingies. That seems to be fitting though. Right, the Rihagunga thingy. Now, the next thing that we should build is on this inverter mouse coaster. So let's take a look at its statistics. It should say somewhere that the tracks are higher, that they're like 3 meters. Doesn't seem to be saying that though. Right, let's check out how high this coaster is then. If it's 3 high, well, we still need to build it, but... Oh no, it's not. Great, alright. Well, we are going to have this right here then. Okay, yeah, so let's pull that back a little. This is gonna be a nightmare to hook up, I already know this, but we're gonna continue with it anyway, because we are not set back by nightmarish hookups. What we are gonna do though, before I make this truly impossible for ourselves, is, do this first. Because if we don't, then it is going to be truly impossible for ourselves. There. Easiest way, but needed. Then... there, also. A quick and easy way, but I don't feel ashamed for pulling it off like this. What we do need to do though, is get that sorted. Also, it's a bit tricky because placing engineers, they sometimes just can trans-teleport themselves through various Z levels of the path. Whoa, 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 whoa. Let's not do that, right? I mean, that's getting me motion sick. Can we then... Oh, we can actually get that sorted. Now we are going to run into the height limitations fairly quickly over here. Too high for support. I could have pretty much predicted that. Right, so first we have a drop over there. One that isn't too high. Then you know what, we will actually have this go a little bit lower so that we can then move this over to there? Why can't it... Oh, because apparently that's where the fountain is in the way, so it must be not in the way over there then. I mean, that's an easy conclusion to get to. Right, at height 20, can we get away with this? No. Everywhere we try this, the roller coaster will be in the way. So I guess what we need to do then is shoot below this roller coaster with our lift. So that's gonna be a different strategy then. Actually, we're gonna have an issue there also. Right, so let's think about how we're gonna deal with it. I think the best way to deal with this is to pull this whole shenanigan back a little bit further. Something like this. We will put a lift in there. Then we shall actually we do it like this though. We might as well try and get ourselves onto dry land, don't we? I think... Oh no, we won't actually hit the coaster. That's new for a change. I did want to get through this loop, but I believe we'll have to do that at either height 90. Can we do that? 19? Oh, if we do that, we'd have to do that like right here, right now. Okay, done. Done. Let's not do any other stupid shenanigans over here. Let's now try and build this awesome coaster. And by the way, people, if you think that I have not been looking at a certain corner of the screen, you'd be all wrong. I have been, and what I see pleases me greatly, especially that number to the left. Right, now then. How cool would it be if we managed to do something like this? Look. I think this is pretty awesome, don't you think? Then, at the height of 12, we might also try and see that we aim for the other loop. Though, I highly doubt that is possible. We could perhaps pull it off. If we do it like this. Oh, we're actually on the water slide at that. No, that ain't gonna happen. That loop is off limits for us. So let's think about the rest of the track. This is where our station's at. So you know what? Let's aim for something cool here. Let's do something like... We should have done this one earlier. Then we would have had the possibility. Also, I also needed to do that one earlier then, of course. That ain't gonna happen, not like that. But it is gonna happen like this. And then there is a path there. Great! So... That's telling me, like, you can't build there. Right, well, we can build over here. Now we're at the same height as the path, which means that we have practically trapped ourselves here. Unless we can find ourselves a square where we can... It's not looking very good for that square that I'm looking for. This is this tight seal of, as well as over here. Right. So, how about we do this? And then drop, but then not just drop to anywhere, we drop to the height of the water. I think that is a rather cool and intense track design that we have over here. Now the good thing is we have already built ourselves the... We have already built ourselves the entrance and exit paths. Not that we really botched it up here, but... Oh, and it can test run. Alright, let's see what the test run is going to be whilst we do the very intensive, strategy-heavy job of pricing the ride. Very, very strategy-intensive, I tell you. Right, how shall we call this? Why don't we call this Clutter Butter? And because it's called like that, oh man, I wish we had like some kind of broken cream color for this. But we might be able to get close to that. We got them grey supports out there. No. Hold on a second. We can't go with a whitish track. So how about we go with the green and the purple? Doesn't stand out. Dark blue and the purple? That does stand out. And white supports in this corner are not really that prevalent, so we'll go with them too. And then that seems to be alright. The coaster also seems to be returning to the station just fine. I think, ladies and gentlemen, we have ourselves a winner once more. However, yeah, this, I don't know. I mean, sure, I'll assign stuff, but if it's gonna work, I honestly do not know. There, I hope you're trapped right now. I don't know if that's gonna... Yeah, you do seem to be trapped, actually. Right, the question then, of course, is, have I set up the repair times here? I have. Well, in that case, it seems to me that we have a successful ride over there. Now, we also haven't checked the Riganga River, which is actually a hell of a water ride, if I'm honest. Good, good, good. Now, we have gotten a motion simulator, so why don't we go back to roller coasters for now? And we have this one space left open over there for a slam down ride, and of course I knew that was going to be for the motion simulator. Alright, I didn't, but... Hold on a second. Yeah, I was about to say, like, I know that there's a space there. We left it open on purpose and it should fit. Also, I know that we need an extra guard. I know that we need that right now, to be honest. We have one, and I do seem to recall me saying that, you know, if we need, if we see more vandalism, we'll hire more guards until the vandalism is gone. Yeah, I should have hired quite a few more guards if that, I were to keep that, my word on that. Ah, well. Right, that seems about right for that one. And that also gives us something hooked up to the centerpiece, you know, of the infrastructure. Oh, balls. Yeah, remove that, replace it. Is that... Yeah, that's placed about right, I think. Seems a bit deceiving, but... No, that's definitely in the right spot there. Alright, so then have that and have that. And then quickly get them settings proper. Which of course does involve changing the movie to the one and only true movie that any theme park can have that we ever built. The Thrill Riders. So, how about we call this the Surreality? I don't know really, is that really a good name for a motion simulator? No. What was I thinking there? Yeah, that's better. You know how we're gonna call this? We're gonna call this the Harlem Shake. Oh, that's definitely a lot more fitting for a motion simulator. Good, good, good. I'm looking at our guest count and I see it rising well above the 1200. This I approve of greatly. What I do wonder though is, oh, we're gonna get the Garvitron, but other than that, have we gotten anything else? Not really, so again, we're just stuck when it comes to rides really, cause, well, there just isn't much for us to build right now. So before we get the Garvitron, we might want to just check out where we have stuff hooked up at the moment. There is a general lack of queues up here, but there is also a general cluster nuts of tracks over here. So this is off limits. What we could do is build it right in the center here and then have it hook up there. It's not really badly needed. We could also get it over here. But there's already a thrill right there. Over here we only have tracked rides. I don't know really. It seems that if we do it over here, there is an empty gap that we fill up, which we could otherwise use for coasters, huh? Or we build the coasters around it. I mean, with our inbar coaster building skills, we are of course more than capable of doing the latter. Yeah, we'll build it over here. This is a nice spot for it, you know, and we will... You know what, that's one thing that we can definitely do whilst we're waiting. Now that we have built all the tracks over here and we're not going to build anything else here, let us fountainize the area a little bit more. I mean, why not, right? Also, you know what I'm curious to find out is how has this dilapidated dilapidated daisy, I mean, 7.04. That's not bad. The cluster butter is an almost grand? What? The clutter butter is almost grand? Wow. I did not expect that. I honestly did not. I thought it would be way worse, you know. Well, I say good job to us then. Wow. Nice. Right, we have the Garvatron. Let us build that. And wow. Let's say wow to ourselves once more for building something that great. Right, we'll get this over here. The entrance will be there. Exit shall be there. Now the exit ain't gonna be anything special really, it's just gonna be this. With a no entry sign, mind you. We do want all the guests to flow through this park very streamlined. Very, very streamlined in fact. We will also get an extra handy dude there. That should be your area. Now let's quickly set up this Garvatron. Of course we need to tune it for... Oh crap! I thought those were the rotations, of course they're not. You know what, we will set that back to the default. Doesn't really matter much. Berserk mode, of course. The only mode this ride should ever know. That's not true really, but we do have some fairly intense rides. So it's not bad to have it, you know, be high in the ratings so that the guests can get their stomachs prepped for the real stuff, which are all our coasters, of course. There, that should do. Now then, how about we call this, yeah. Why don't we call this Babe Breaker? No, we shall not call it that, something like that. Why don't we call this the Little Tricklet? Yeah, with a capital T that is. Come on, typing is difficult today. I've done it too much, you know, at work, so I got to wear down on my skills, you know. I'm overusing them. They're wearing down too quickly. Now, let us give this a paint job that has a bit of the purple influence along with some candy. You don't see these colors every day and they don't look that bad. The dark purple makes it look rather okay. Alright, well, I like the looks of that. Should do alright. Should do. So, yeah, right now though, we are again kind of held back by the development of our eggheads, you know. How fast can they research? I mean, I don't really like that actually, you know, we're building too fast. Ooh. That is an issue. The guests are complaining about the disgusting state of our paths. That's definitely an issue, and one that I dread to fix, but we're gonna have to do that next time when we play more Rollercoaster Tycoon.